deep in the heart of the Sahara Desert, there's something that shouldn't exist. From space, it looks like a giant eye staring back at you from the sand. A perfect series of concentric circles stretching 25 miles across. For decades, scientists couldn't explain it. Local legends whispered about it. And then, someone made a connection that sent shockwaves through the archaeological world. What if this wasn't just a geological curiosity? What if this was the real location of Atlantis, the lost civilization that Plato described in perfect detail over 2,000 years ago? A civilization that vanished without a trace, leaving behind only stories and possibly this. Today, we're diving into one of the most compelling mysteries our planet has ever revealed. Because what I'm about to show you will make you question everything you thought you knew about ancient history. The Sahara wasn't always a desert. Scientists now know 6,000 years ago, a blink of an eye in geological time, this was a green, lush landscape filled with rivers, lakes, and thriving civilizations. Then something catastrophic happened, and it all disappeared beneath the sand. But here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. Hidden beneath those dunes might be the remains of cities, monuments, and civilizations that we've completely lost to history. And in one particular spot, nature has revealed something so extraordinary that it's rewriting our understanding of the past. Astronauts first spotted it from space in the 1960s. This massive, perfectly circular structure that looks like it was designed by an advanced civilization. The local Mauritanian people had always known it was there, calling it Guelber Richat, but they had no idea the whole world was about to become obsessed with their backyard mystery. Located in the remote Adrar Plateau of Mauritania, this structure is so remote that most people on Earth will never see it with their own eyes. But thanks to satellites and a growing community of researchers, we're finally starting to uncover its secrets. And some of those secrets are absolutely shocking. Number 1. The discovery and description. When astronauts first photographed the Eye of the Sahara in 1965, NASA scientists were baffled. Here was a structure so geometrically perfect, so massive, that it challenged everything we thought we knew about geological formations. Picture this. You're looking at a series of concentric circles, each one perfectly nested inside the next, stretching 25 miles across. That's larger than the city of Paris. From the center to the outer ring, it's like someone drew the world's largest bullseye in the desert sand. But here's where it gets really strange. When researchers finally reached the structure on the ground in the 1970s, they discovered it wasn't just circles of sand. These rings are made of different types of rock. Harder, more resistant stone that has withstood millions of years of erosion while everything around it wore away. The outer ring is made of quartzite ridges that stand up like ancient walls. The inner rings contain different minerals and rock types, each one telling a story of geological forces we're still trying to understand. It's like nature built a massive fortress and then abandoned it to time. Scientists initially thought it might be an ancient impact crater from a massive asteroid or comet. But there's no evidence of the shock minerals and shattered rock that meteorite impacts leave behind. Others suggested it was an ancient volcano, but there's no volcanic rock to be found anywhere in the structure. So what created this perfectly circular, multi-layered structure in the middle of nowhere? The official scientific explanation is that it's a geological dome that was pushed up from below and then eroded over millions of years. But that explanation has some serious problems, and not everyone is convinced. Number 2. The Atlantis connection. In 360 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato wrote about a lost civilization called Atlantis. For over 2,000 years ago, people assumed it was just a philosophical allegory, a made-up story to illustrate a point about society and power. But what if Plato wasn't creating fiction? What if he was preserving real history? Here's where things get absolutely mind-blowing. When researchers started comparing Plato's description of Atlantis with the Eye of the Sahara, the similarities were so striking that it sent shockwaves through the archaeological community. According to Plato, Atlantis was a circular city with multiple concentric rings of land and water. The outer ring was 25 miles in diameter, exactly the same size as the Eye of the Sahara. The city had 3 circular harbors, one inside the other, with bridges connecting them to the central island. But here's what's really incredible. Plato said Atlantis was located near the Pillars of Hercules, which most people assume meant the Strait of Gibraltar. But what if it meant a different landmark? What if it referred to geographical features that existed 12,000 years ago? Sahara was green and full of life. Researcher Bright Insight and others have pointed out dozens of specific matches. The central island in Plato's account matches the central dome of the eye. The alternating rings of land and water match the alternating rock ridges. Even the orientation and measurements are remarkably similar. Plato described Atlantis as being rich in precious metals and having access to both salt and fresh water. The Eye of the Sahara sits on top of what geologists call the Tau Denis Basin, an area historically rich in salt deposits and precious minerals. Ancient trade routes carrying gold, salt, and other treasures passed right through this region. And here's the most compelling part, Plato said. Atlantis was destroyed by floods and earthquakes around 9600 BC. That's approximately 11,600 years ago. Scientists now know that this time frame coincides exactly with the end of the last ice age, a period of massive climate change, rising sea levels, and the rapid transformation of the Sahara from green paradise to desert wasteland. Number 3. The evidence and anomalies. If the Eye of the Sahara really is Atlantis, then we should find evidence of ancient human activity. And guess what? We're starting to find exactly that, in ways that are completely rewriting the history books. Archaeological surveys around the structure have uncovered Acheulean tools, stone implements that are hundreds of thousands of years old. But they've also found much more recent artifacts, including pottery, metal objects, and evidence of sophisticated ancient settlements. Even more intriguing are the perfectly circular stone structures scattered throughout the area. These aren't natural formations. They're clearly artificial, built by human hands. Some researchers believe these could be the remains of ancient foundations, ports, or ceremonial sites. Recent ground-penetrating radar surveys have detected massive buried structures beneath the sand around the eye. These anomalies suggest the presence of walls, buildings, and other artificial constructions buried under centuries of desert accumulation. Perhaps most compelling is the evidence of massive water erosion throughout the structure. The rock formations show clear signs of being carved and shaped by flowing water, lots of it, and for extended periods. This supports the idea that the area was once a major water feature, exactly as Plato described. Geological analysis has revealed something extraordinary. The rocks in the eye contain minerals and elements that shouldn't naturally occur together in this type of formation. Some researchers suggest this could be evidence of advanced ancient metallurgy, or even technologies we don't yet understand. But here's what's really mysterious. Satellite imagery over the past 50 years shows that the structure is still changing. New features appear, others disappear, and the overall pattern seems to be evolving in ways that geological processes alone can't explain. The indigenous people of the region have oral traditions that speak of a great city that once existed in this location, a place of prosperity and advanced knowledge that was swallowed by the sands. These stories, passed down through generations, describe details that match both Plato's account and the physical evidence we're finding today. Number 4. The skeptics and alternative theories. Of course, not everyone is convinced that the Eye of the Sahara is Atlantis. Mainstream archaeology has some serious objections to this theory, and it's important to understand both sides of this incredible mystery. The primary scientific explanation is still geological. According to most geologists, the eye is what's called a dome structure, a place where underground pressure pushed rock layers upward into a dome, which was then eroded by wind and water over millions of years, leaving behind the circular ridges we see today. They point to similar structures found elsewhere on Earth, places where natural geological processes have created circular patterns. The Richat structure, they argue, is just an unusually perfect example of this natural phenomenon, made more visible by the desert environment. Critics also point out that radiocarbon dating of the rocks in the eye shows they're much older than human civilization. The quartzite ridges are hundreds of millions of years old, formed long before humans existed on Earth. How could this be a human-built city? Skeptical archaeologists argue that if this were really Atlantis, an advanced civilization with massive cities and sophisticated technology, we should find much more evidence. Where are the pottery shards, the building foundations, the clear signs of large-scale human habitation? They also point out that there are other, more conventional candidates for Atlantis locations. Sites in the Mediterranean, the Canary Islands, and elsewhere have archaeological evidence that seems more consistent with an advanced ancient civilization. However, supporters of the Atlantis theory have compelling counter-arguments. They point out that any surface structures would have been buried under thousands of years of sand accumulation. The Sahara's transformation from green to desert would have covered any evidence with layers of sediment. Some researchers go even further, suggesting that if this is Atlantis, it might indicate that ancient civilizations had technologies we've completely forgotten about. Technologies that could explain both the precise construction and the unusual mineral compositions found in the structure. The debate continues, with new expeditions and studies planned for the coming years. Advanced ground-penetrating radar, satellite analysis, and archaeological techniques may finally provide definitive answers about what the Eye of the Sahara really island. Number 5. Implications and recent developments. Whether or not the Eye of the Sahara is actually Atlantis, its study is revolutionizing our understanding of ancient history and the capabilities of past civilizations. And recent discoveries are making the mystery even more compelling. In 2019, researchers announced the discovery of what appears to be a massive underground chamber system beneath the eye. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed a network of tunnels and cavities that extend for miles beneath the structure, suggesting a level of complexity that purely geological processes can't explain. Even more intriguing, hydrological studies have shown that the eye sits on top of a massive underground water system. Ancient springs and aquifers that could have supported a large population, exactly as described in Plato's account of Atlantis. New dating techniques are also providing surprising results. While the rock formations are indeed ancient, there's evidence of much more recent geological activity, events that occurred within the time frame of human civilization, not millions of years ago. The implications extend far beyond this single site. If advanced civilizations existed in the Sahara 0 years ago, it means we need to completely reconsider our understanding of ancient human capabilities and the timeline of technological development. The study of the eye is also providing crucial insights into climate change. The rapid transformation of the Sahara from green paradise to desert shows how quickly and dramatically our planet's climate can shift, with lessons that are directly relevant to our current environmental challenges. Advanced satellite technology and space archaeology are revealing new details about the structure almost monthly. AI analysis of satellite imagery is identifying patterns and features that human researchers missed, suggesting there's still much more to discover. The mystery has attracted researchers from around the world, creating an unprecedented international collaboration to unlock the secrets of this remarkable site. Geologists, archaeologists, climatologists, and even space scientists are working together to understand what the Eye of the Sahara really island. The big picture. So is the Eye of the Sahara really Atlantis? The honest answer is that we don't know yet. But that uncertainty is exactly what makes this mystery so compelling and important. What we do know is that this structure challenges our assumptions about the past. Whether it's a remarkable geological formation or the remains of an advanced ancient civilization, it proves that our planet still holds secrets that can rewrite history. The Eye reminds us that the world was a very different place just a few thousand years ago. Vast areas that are now empty desert once supported thriving civilizations. And climate change has hidden entire chapters of human history beneath the sand. Every new technology we develop, better satellites, advanced radar, AI analysis, 2000, reveals more details about this mysterious structure. We're living through the golden age of discovery, where the tools of modern science are finally capable of unlocking ancient mysteries. And perhaps most importantly, the Eye of the Sahara shows us that there are still incredible discoveries waiting to be made right here on our own planet. We don't need to look to the stars for mystery and wonder. It's buried beneath our feet, waiting for the next generation of explorers to uncover it. The next time you see a satellite image of Earth, remember that you might be looking at evidence of civilizations and mysteries we haven't even begun to understand. The Eye of the Sahara stares back at us from the desert, holding secrets that could change everything we think we know about our past. Is it Atlantis? Is it a geological marvel? Or is it something else entirely? Something we haven't even considered yet? The only way we'll find out is if we keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what we think is possible. If this mystery fascinated you as much as it fascinates me, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more incredible discoveries and unsolved mysteries. And let me know in the comments, do you think the Eye of the Sahara could really be Atlantis? What would it mean if we found proof of advanced ancient civilizations in the desert? Thanks for joining me on this journey into one of our planet's greatest mysteries, and I'll see you in the next video.